official intro. Hi, what's up, Kaiju Pack? It's your boy KaijuKong, emerging from the depths of sweet solitude to bring you some more Sigma Soul sustenance. So I'm gonna be giving you a speech while I'm gonna be kayaking. We're underneath the pier, guys. Awesome. Let me just prepare my stuff here. So what I got here is, this is like a line. If ever I choose to stop, I'm gonna drop this. This is like an anchor. Let me see. It's like an anchor that grips onto the seabed, as you can see. Although I'm actually gonna have to dive down and grapple it. I'm not just gonna drop it down. I'm not sure exactly what I'm grappling onto, so that's one way of doing things. So whenever I feel like diving, it's my buddy right here. Oh, come on.
Perfect. Alright guys, let's start. So let me show you something. See this tattoo? Well, this shows you the Sigma male mindset. I had this done quite a few years ago. As you can see here, you can see the Sigma signs. So there are 4 Sigmas outside a cross. Well, the cross I'll explain in a future video. It's too much for now. And this, basically this circle, these number of circles, you can see 4 circles with one central circle in the middle. Central circle in the middle represents basically, could be whatever, could be the world, could be the hierarchy, whatever you mean. And these 4 circles, the one in the outermost, where you can see this one, basically means solitude. The next one, this one, means secrecy. The next one, this one, sameness, and then this one means struggle. Now I'll explain that to you now. So I hope you guys can hear me from over there. So 4 S's for Sigma male. First is solitude, second is secrecy, next one sameness, and then struggle. These ones are the 4 pillars, at least for me, 4 pillars of a great Sigma male mindset. First one is solitude. As you can see, I'm here alone in solitude. Let me show you around, the middle of the water. No one around me within 100 meters. Maybe there are a few boats here and there, but let's not count that. So as a Sigma male, you are alone. You separate yourself from the masses. And when you're alone, you get to develop yourself much at a faster rate, because you do everything by yourself. You get stronger, you get faster, you get more cunning, you get smarter. You develop a street smart sort of thing, because you don't rely on anyone. You don't really rely on the system as much. You don't rely on people to have your back. You take, as Jocko Willink says, you take extreme ownership of every single thing. You don't blame people. You take maximum responsibility for your own life, and that builds you up as a person. Not only physically, yeah, if you do like work and you go to the gym to protect yourself, but you build a certain strength in your mentality and your fortitude that you can achieve anything that you want alone. If someone doesn't help you, fuck that, you know, I'm just gonna do it anyway by myself. So that is what solitude means. Look at it this way, guys. You got solitary animals and you got the pack animals. Example of a solitary animal, one of the spirit animals of a Sigma male is a tiger. Well, tigers, compare them with a lion. If you pitch a tiger against a lion, you know who's gonna win. Definitely, you know who's gonna win. The tiger's heavier. The tiger, I bet, is more cunning. The tiger has more muscle, is bigger. His growl, his roar is more terrifying than the lion's. So if you pitch a tiger against a lion one-on-one, tiger's definitely gonna win. Same thing, guys, with a Sigma male. If you are a powerful Sigma male, you got your finances right, you got your body right, people respect you. If they pitch a Sigma male like me against, let's say, an alpha male from any hierarchy, just choose any hierarchy, definitely the Sigma male will win on all fronts, whether it be beating the other guy up, whether it be starting his own solo business, anything that has to do with being, like, you know, one-on-one, Sigma male will win. But that's the thing, guys, this is where the difficulty comes in, because an alpha is not really an alpha. What the definition of an alpha is the most dominant man in the group, in the hierarchy. Therefore, you can't really call an alpha betas, you know. He's not only going one against one. In a real world, if he has some beef with the alpha's going to bring all these beta followers in, and the sigma's technically going to be fighting against 5 or maybe more than that. So it's like sigma's like the entrepreneur facing against an entire company. So in the real world, actually, guys, alphas will win by virtue of them having the group. Sigma has to take on multiple roles at the same time. Also, guys, one thing that I noticed, being in solitude, when you detach yourself from a group like I'm doing now, I'm watching the entire landscape. I see everything. I see the beach from that point all the way to that point. It's like you somehow supervise, you know, you can see things from a bigger picture. Once you separate yourself from the world and look at it from the eyes of an eagle, you can see the nuances. You can see sometimes like, hey, there's a mistake over there, or hey, that doesn't really seem right, or hey, that's a bunch of bullshit. And then you can easily cut, you know, people for their crap. You can cut the crap easily when people give it to you. That's why sometimes, you know, Sigma males, we detach because sometimes we went through a certain point in our life when we suffered some sort of pain, we had some sort of trauma or some experience, shifted our mindset and had said, hey, wait a minute, I don't actually need the hierarchy to survive, especially in this day and age when we can basically survive by ourselves. And so we separate from that. And yeah, that's the advantage of solitude. You're like an eagle, you get to soar. An eagle soars higher than any other bird because he flies alone. He knows how to even use the negative winds, the storms, the storm winds against to propel himself even further up into the clouds. And so he sees everything, he scans everything, much like a Sigma, if you do it well. Don't be a Sigma just to play games, masturbate, look at porn. You be a Sigma, get out in life, get out like how I'm doing here. Enjoy life. Take it. You only have one life, guys, so it's either you YOLO and do stupid things, or you actually YOLO and do incredible things. I think I might go for a dive sometime, like in a few minutes, but let's see. That's solitude. Next, secrecy. As you can see in the circles, secrecy is marked by dotted lines. Well, what does secrecy mean? Basically, as I put up in another as I said in a previous video that I made quite some time ago, a Sigma male, the best way to develop as a Sigma male, especially when you're in solitude, is that you do it in secrecy. Most of the time, many of us Sigma males, nobody's gonna know about us. If you have big dreams, nobody's gonna know about you until you reach a certain point in life. I'm not sure if you know what I mean, but if you work, hustle, you don't have to let anyone know what you're doing. You don't have to let anyone know your dreams. You don't have to let anyone know your goals. You don't have to let anyone know on what step of the process you're on. Because guys, most of the time people will just discourage you. Haters are gonna hate, and you're just gonna get a lot of that negative energy. So if you're positive in yourself and you surround yourself with positive energy and positive people who you trust, that will propel you further in your path. Nobody else. You don't have to receive any more external validation from the rest of them. Nobody's gonna say, hey, you know, well done on that, you know, really good. But you know, you'll feel it if it's genuine or not. And if it's not genuine, it's just gonna come out as negative energy. So it's best not to let people know. Just develop yourself, improve yourself in secret. Only tell your goals to people who care about you, who actually care for your process, who actually care for you leveling up in life, care for your success. Those are the people you should tell to help you on your goals. And also other successful people. Funnily enough, the ones who are going to bring you down the most are people who know you, who knew you from childhood, who knew you especially when you were nothing. Because they know exactly how you started. You started on the same line as them. And then all of a sudden, it's like you're running a race, right? You're running a race on a track and field stadium. You started it up in the same line. And then all of a sudden you see your friend running total laps around you, and you're gonna say like, hey, wait a minute, we started exactly in the same point, we started exactly the same time, we started at exactly the same point. Guys, I think you're gonna envy the guy. You're gonna say, hey, wait a minute, hey, slow down a bit, you know. But then most of the time what we see is those who have not started out on the same page as you, or those you meet later on in life, are the ones who actually support you the most. It's like the universe sends these people to you at the right time by law of attraction, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, most of the time they don't know your struggles, they just respect you because they're usually on that same level that you're on. And then it's like the universe, yeah, exactly. The universe gives them to you like as a gift, law of attraction. They're like, okay, you leveled up to level 30, here you go, new weapon, or here you go, new partner. That's how it is, guys. And what happens to the old weapons, the level 5 weapons, you kind of ditch it. I mean, sorry to say, feelings aside, friends will get hurt, but at the end of the day, if you cut off your friends and friends get hurt, that is a lot better than staying with the friends who are negative. And then not only do you get hurt, but you know, they're happy, but then you're hurt. So it's like, who would you rather hurt? Them? And then they'll realize, like later on, once you achieve that point of time, they're gonna say, hey, you know, I knew that guy. Hey, I knew I believed in that guy. But yeah, all that bullshit. But then if you go the other way and stay friends with them and you accept their negative energy, you're gonna amount to nothing. You're gonna end up as nothing. And then they're not really gonna be happy. In the end, you're just gonna be, you know, friends, buddies, drinking a beer, having a cold one with all your dead dreams. At the end of the day, you're gonna resent them. Silently resent them. So think about that wisely. Develop and improve yourself in secrecy, guys. Nobody's got to know what you're doing. Nobody's got to know what you're up to. Take away that pride. Have that pride inside of you. That pride, as a Sigma male, has to come from inside. You must walk with a certain purpose. It has to come out from the inside. Us Sigmas, unlike the Alpha has power because he is given power from other people. He's given power from the Betas. He achieves external validation that makes him an Alpha. And of course, yeah, he has the thing on the inside, but he's never really called an Alpha because he competes, he goes after what he wants because at the end of the day, he wants that external validation. He wants the woman, he wants that, his followers, he wants the business, he wants to win. Sigmas, on the other hand, we're different. We separated ourselves from the hierarchy for a reason. We don't want to play. That's the thing. So, yeah, we separate ourselves from the hierarchy for a reason. If you separate yourself from the hierarchy, but you're always saying like, hey, you know, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm achieving, then what type of separation is that? I mean, I think probably you're playing the game of an Alpha. Or, because you keep trying to prove yourself, you're actually a Beta, but you don't even know it. So stop cutting crap with wanting to please everyone, wanting to show your process to everyone. Be secret, be Batman, be still, be Zen. Just be, you know. Just develop on yourself, and then once, you know when you can tell people about your goals and everything? Never. They will find out once your goals are too big to hide. It's like a tiger, you know. The tigers don't. Guys, like see it this way. You're like cubs. You're like tiger cubs. You're like wolf cubs. A wolf doesn't go. A lone wolf. Okay. A wolf in a pack goes. Woo! It howls, and then other wolves will howl. But it doesn't howl. But a lone wolf does not howl. I bet. You know why? Because it doesn't want to attract attention. It doesn't want to attract unwanted attention. If a lone wolf goes, ooh, and then the rabbits and the little prey will say, oh shit, you know, there's a wolf in the area. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna ditch this area. I'm gonna run. So a Sigma does not howl. A Sigma does not roar. He only roars when he needs to. A tiger does not roar. Lion roars to establish its territory. A tiger doesn't really roar. He rumbles. He has this low roar when he's going around because he doesn't want his prey, he doesn't want other predators to know he's in the area. He just catches them off guard, you know. He just pounces on them. Silent but deadly. Silent storm. That's who we are. Sigmas. Secrecy. We're the ninja. The Ronin. Nobody sees us. Dark horses. That's the way it is. Right. So that's secrecy. Next one. Sameness. As you can see, the circle is almost exactly the same as the one that stands for secrecy, but it's just a little bit more small. That's why it's sameness. It's the same as secrecy, but that's how I represented it. Sameness. So sameness as a Sigma male mindset. Sameness means you're willing to go through the same process again and again. Repetition. As Bruce Lee said, he does not fear the man who practiced, I think was it 10,000? Yeah, he does not fear a man who practiced 10,000 kicks once. He fears the man who practiced one kick 10,000 times. Just the same, guys. You have to, it's boring, yes, but if you do the same thing, if you master your craft, you work at it day in, day out, rain or shine, you're naturally going to get better at it. That's exactly how it is, guys. This is common sense. This one I don't even have to explain. Go through the sameness of life. Of course, add a few fun things like what I'm doing. I don't do this every day. I do this to chill. Most of the day, I'm working. You become a better Sigma through going through the same stuff over and over again, but diligently practicing, diligently doing your work, working out not every single day, but that's me. Working out every single day, or working out consistently every week, getting in the right nutrition every single day, reading a book every single day, not reading pages from a book every single day. You can do your meditation, you can communicate with your friends, at least it helps you on your journey. Do that consistently on a day-to-day basis, even if it's boring. But one day you'll look back at your 5 years of consistent work and you'll tell yourself, wow, I got this far. Thank the heavens that I had the faith in myself and the determination to push through, to be consistent. Younger Sigmas out there, take my word for it. 5 years may seem like a lot from now, like looking forward, 5 years may seem like a lot, but trust me, when I came to Portugal, that was almost 5 years ago, yeah. I thought 5 years would be a long time, but no, look, it's gone by really, really fast. Those years working where I work at have been tough. I had to stay a lot overtime by a couple of hours. Sometimes I spent almost like 18 hours at work. But guys, at the end of the day, look who's smiling, me. Because I know exactly what I wanted to get from life. I knew the sacrifice that it was going to take, and I took it consistently every single day. Now, next, next is struggle. Struggle is probably self-explanatory. It's like when you work out, you lift weights, heavy, painful, because you're going to get bigger, you're going to get stronger. Same thing with struggle. When you push yourself to do things that are hard, you develop the mental fortitude, you develop the mentality to push through those things and to conquer. Things that are easy are never really worth it. Things that are worth it come hard, they come at a cost, they come at a price. That's why a Bentley or a Ferrari costs more than a simple Toyota or a Mitsubishi, because of course you can see. So the amount of cost equals the amount of value and the amount of thing that you get back in return. So if you want to be a powerful Sigma male, if you want to have money, if you want to have state, no, not really state, okay, these things are all alpha. But if you want to go after the best things in life, total freedom, total independence, financial independence, driving a Ferrari if that's what you guys want. That's not my thing, but I just want to do my own thing, be free, not have a worry in my life, and yet still be able to provide for my family, my parents, my grandparents, and have a kick-ass life, travel whenever I want to, date the girls whenever I want to without having to worry about anything. It's gonna take some time, it's gonna take some effort, and it's gonna take struggle. You gotta work. When you don't feel like working, you gotta do overtime. When you don't, nobody likes to do overtime. Who's gonna do overtime? Like, yeah, I'm doing overtime. But yeah, struggle, guys, struggle. Look, I always liked when, animals that have scars on their face look really badass. Technically, the ones who have scars on the face usually are the alphas. Why? Because they went through the most battles. They know how to fight. They're not afraid of conflict. That's the thing with us Sigmas. We don't really like conflict within the social hierarchy, but we like conflict outside. We like conflict within ourselves. We like to battle our previous selves. If that's the conflict that you're looking for in your life, then that's the conflict you should have with yourself. Always strive to better yourself. Always strive to improve. That is struggle. So, let me recap. Solitude, the 4 pillars, at least for me, 4 pillars of my Sigma male mindset, all start with the letter S. Solitude, sameness and struggle. Solitude, you gotta be alone, you gotta separate yourself naturally. That's a Sigma male life. Secrecy, you gotta develop yourself in secret, not let anyone know what you're doing, and then take them by surprise so that you don't suffer from any negative energy. Just be on your grind, don't let anyone need to know until you are there. Next one is sameness. Sameness, basically, go through the grind, go through the motions, have the discipline to go through every single thing. My mind just stopped, guys. Sameness. Yeah, don't be afraid to go through the motions. As Bruce Lee said, he fears you if you practice one kick 10,000 times, not only one, not 10,000 kicks one time. And then next, struggle. You gotta struggle to build muscles. You gotta struggle to have mentality, to have fortitude. I mean, that's basically it, guys. So let's go for a dive. I'm gonna show you how the bottom of the water looks like. Alright. Let's do this.
If you aim to grow to your full potential as a Sigma male, then subscribe and hit the notifications button to stay connected as a member of the Kaiju Pack. More videos are on their way. Please don't forget to leave a like on the way out. This will support the channel's growth and help many more men like you out there. And with that, this gathering is concluded. Thank you very much for joining me. Take care, brothers.